Hello and welcome again to the continuation of our last show. I promised that in this show we shall talk about grieving process. And so I welcome you so that we can learn together. There's something that I have learned so far. You remember we said that in every grieving process, in every grieving time, there are lessons that we derive from it. And so after talking about all the lessons that we have learned, I found it better that we talk about grieving and the things that comes, the issues that comes around with grieving. And so we are talking about grieving process. I want to confirm that out of the research that I have done, and out of the so many people that we have met, and out of the so many people that we have talked with, and personally I have met and talked with, I have learned that people grieve differently. There are people who will grieve by crying throughout the year. They are crying throughout their lifetime. They will be crying like they will never forget. There are some who don't cry at all. There are some who they will look normal. They will look like nothing has happened. Not because they didn't love their loved ones, but that is their way of grieving. They grieve in people grieve in different ways. Some, they will heal very fast. Some will never heal. There are some who will want to talk about it. You know, this is how it happened. Mimi sasa nikatoka, nikaona nyumba imewaka moto. Sasa mimi kuingia ndani, nikapata ni kweli watoto wangu wote wamechomeka. They want to talk about it. And they don't want you to give them your opinion. Wanataka tu uwasikilize as they talk and talk and talk and talk. And say that, so that those things that have filled their minds, wanataka ziwaondoke. This happens mostly, you know, the biggest process, the biggest time for mourning and the worst time for going through grief is after the burial. When we have lost someone and they have died, we have buried them, then later after is when now things start dawning in the lives of those people who have been left. They may be friends, they may be family members, they may be children, anyone who has been touched by the death of a person. They grieve differently. And after the burial, that is when it starts dawning in their minds that ni kweli fulani hayuko, na ni kweli kiti chake hakina mtu, na ni kweli I can't find him anywhere around, na ni kweli hata simu yake nikipiga iwezi shikwa, na ni kweli sijamtayarisha aende kazi, na ni kweli jioni sijamgojea, na ni kweli, you know, it starts dawning. Kama ni wale friends ambao walikuwa wale wa partying, wanaenda kwa party and they realize, by the way, position ya fulani, it is empty. Wana realize that, by the way, fulani angekuwa hapa angefanya ABCD. Kama ni fulani, sahi angekuwa hii meza angekuwa imeichafua. Kama ingekuwa ni fulani, hii chakula yote angekuwa amesema sasa irudishwe, iletwe in style. You know, kila mtu kuna kitu ambacho anaacha in the life of those people that he leaves behind. And therefore, people grieve differently. There are others who will have fast relief, like ina happen and in 2 weeks time inaanza ku disappear in their minds na inaondoka and they start life anew. There are others wakiona tu mahali fulani walikuwa wametembea na huyo mtu, they start crying. There are others, their bodies don't respond very fast. But after the burial, and you know, there's something else that I want to confirm. And there's something else that I want to let you know. That grief does not just come with death. Even separation, even loss of a miscarriage, even loss of a pregnancy, that is the miscarriage. Even when people separate in marriage, when people divorce, it brings in grief. And somebody is setback, anajipata akotuna setback ya maisha na ameanza maisha tena akiwa baridi ndio aanze kurise tena. That is grieving. So I have realized that people grieve differently. Hakuna mtu anakuwa na style ya mwingine. Kuna mtu ambaye hataki kuongea hata kidogo about ule mtu ambaye amekufa, ama ile loss ambayo ameenda, ama yule mtoto ambaye ama miscarriage ambaye amekuwa nayo. They don't want to talk, like completely they don't want to talk. And we should not force those people to talk. There are some who want, like I have said, they want to talk and talk and talk about it. This is all part of a grieving process. Now, when someone is gotten by that shock of a loss of a loved one, or a loss of a marriage, or a loss of a loss of a child, or a loss of a pregnancy, the first thing that happens, they get a shock. You get shocked and you feel like it was just a nightmare. It was just a bad dream. It was just something bad that just came na imepita. Only to open their eyes and find that the shock is real. What has met them is real. So people get shocked. And the next thing that they do, they get numbness. Remember, I have said that people grieve differently. And in grief, the process might not be the same as mine. Your process might not go the same as mine. But these are just the basics that are bound to come. These are I'm talking about the basics that that have occurred to quite a number of people, so we can say that they are common processes that happens when we are grieving. So people get a shock and the body gets numb. Sometimes unajipata kwamba ulikuwa umeinama, uwezi inamuka, unataka tu kutembea kama umeinama, unataka kutembea kama umeinama. Sometimes you find that mikono yako inakosa nguvu, you cannot lift anything, even the lightest of yani hata kama mzigo very light or something very light. Kama uko na mtoto mdogo, you feel like you don't want to hold that baby at all. Even hata kumshikilia tu hivyo asimame, you cannot, because your body has gone numb. There is numbness in the body. That is a process. It is not a disease. Yani, you don't wake up and say that nimegonjeka, sasa mimi niko mgonjwa. It is just a response. Ni response ambayo Mungu ameweka in our bodies to prevent our bodies from getting more harm from the shock that we have gotten. So when they get numb, ni process ya Mungu kuzuia mwili wako na kuisaidia kuabsorb the shock without damage in your body. The other thing that people face is denial and searching. They are in denial. They are like, mtu aliambiwa kwamba mtoto wake amekufa, ama mama aliamka asubuhi na akapata ni kweli huyu mtoto wangu amekufa na ameenda, and they are like, wanaamka, mtoto anapelekwa kwa morgue na wanarudi, alafu anaingia jikoni anaenda kupikia mtoto chakula. That is denial. They have denied in their hearts that this is what has happened. It's true, my baby is gone and never to come back again. They deny that that has happened. And so they find themselves even searching. They search in an open cradle. They go looking for their clothes. They want to clean their clothes and pack them together. They want to prepare them for a certain journey they were to take. They want to prepare the best clothes. Kesho atavaa nguo gani? You know, that is denial, and it is followed by searching. When such people, when people come into such, when they are in such a level of the grieving process, we are supposed to be there to help them out. Do not like show them like they are doing the wrong thing. Si ati akienda kuchukua nguo za mtoto wake, unamwambia no. Hizo nguo, muondoe hizi nguo huku. Hapana, mwache achukue, azipange, aziweke vizuri. Lakini you don't let them to stay alone, because wanaweza toka na watembee wakienda kutafuta mahali mtoto wake ako, because they are in denial. The other thing, they get angered. One can get angered and harbor some guilt. They feel like, is there something I would have done? And most of the time, anger inakuja to, kama tuseme for example, kuna mtu ambaye kuna mama ambaye ameachwa na bwana yake. And then when it happened, bwanake alipokuwa anakufa ama wherever the husband died, wanapata kwamba they were not there. They were not there when the husband died. So what happens? Wanafikiria like someone would have done something to save my husband. So they feel some anger from inside, ambayo wanasikia anger towards those people that were around. They feel like hapana, mbona hawakumsaidia? He must have struggled so much. I think there is something that would have done. Imagine, from the time alitaka kusaidiwa, from the time alijipata from the time alikatwa, wangeita daktari, angemfunga hiyo kidonda, hangekuwa na bleed. Imagine bleed for a whole 1 hour. There is something that they would have done. But unapata kwamba ukimuuliza vizuri anakuambia, you know, wakakuja wakampea first aid, wakamfunga as they waited for daktari to come and assist him. And they are like, I don't like the way they did it so slow. Mbona hawakufanya haraka? That was someone who was losing blood. And then they start feeling guilty. I wish hiyo siku hata angeenda job. I wish hiyo siku hata angetoka. And I think, na nilikuwa nimemwambia. Yani they start feeling like kuna mahali wamechangia kwa kifo cha huyo ambaye ameenda. Kuna mahali wamechangia the divorce kufika hapo na ikafika successful, kwamba sasa wameachana. Kuna kitu alichangia kwamba the husband is not with her again, ameshaenda ama wameseparate. She feels like there is something that amechangia. She feels guilty. If it is a husband who has lost a wife, and I feel like, I think I didn't listen to her well. Nilisikia ni kama aliniambia alikuwa anaumwa na kichwa. Mbona singe take time hata nimsikilize, hata nimwambie, hata siningechukua simu yake nipige kazini niseme anaumwa na kichwa hata enda kazi. I think I would have failed to go to work. At least nikae na yeye nimwangalie nione. You know, they start feeling guilty. One feels guilty that I think I let it happen. I think there is something I would have done. Also, even their friends, they feel like, na fulani kuna siku tuliongea na yeye na akaniambia sijui ana feel aje. I wish, did I pray enough? You know, they start feeling that guilt. They start feeling like, I think I did not do the best. Did I pray enough? Did I go back again to ask him whether alienda hospitali? I wish ningempasu aende hospitali. You know, we start feeling guilty like there is something we would have done. That is part of the grieving process. That is process number 3. And then the fourth one is depression and disorganization. Yani mtu anafika kwa nyumba, anaona everything is empty. Anaona maisha yake iko empty. Anaona kila kitu chenye kiko karibu na yeye is bad. Anything yenye inafanyika si nzuri. And they even get, when they get depressed and they hold their pain within themselves, and they feel like they don't want to rise again, and they feel like life has lost meaning, and they feel like they have lost meaning themselves, that is when they sink into depression. And that time they become so much irritable. Wengine wanaweza withdraw and others can be so much irritable. We are there to understand these people, because we will be living with these people who are going through the grieving process. We will be living with these people ambao wame face these hard moments. We will be living with these people, and we might also have them in our families. It is our responsibility to let them heal and to let them go through the process smoothly, tukiwa pamoja na wao. Do not say that sasa tumemaliza mazishi, wacha sasa nirudi kwa kazi yangu. This person needs you now, because hapo mbeleni when you were during the morning time and during the preparation for the burial, walikuwa wamekaa kwa nyumba, kila mtu amewazunguka. Wakienda kufikiria hii, mtu anatoka na story hapo, wanacheka, hiyo inapita. Akienda kufikiria by the way fulani hata wairudi, hiyo kitu ikikuja tu kwa mawazo, mtu mwingine anasema kitu and then inaenda chini. Akienda yani alikuwa guarded all over, alikuwa shielded all over. Hawakuwahi toka kwa mawazo waende nje kufikiria about huyu mtu ambaye ameenda, about their relationship, about the life that has come, about the different life that they are going to lead after here. Kila wakati walikuwa wamezungukwa na watu. Now here comes a time the house is empty. The place where they shared their meal is empty. The seat where this person used to sit is empty. They will sit there and feel depressed. So they need us at this time. We need to call them all the time. Si lazima hata unamtembelea, but when you have time, the better. Enda uangalia huyo mtu vile anaendelea. If you are family members, this is when you are needed most. If you are the chaplain, if you are the pastor, if you are the elder, if you are that person who is a spiritual leader for this family, this is the right time for you to come and give them encouragement. Because there is nothing else that encourages more than the word of God. When he says that I'll be the father to the fatherless, come and give them that word. When he says that I'll be the husband to those who are widowed, come and give them those words. When he tells us that call unto me and I will hear you, come and give me all your problems, give me all your grief, let me carry all your pain, let me carry all your burdens, I will provide for you. Knock and the door shall be opened, call and you shall be heard. Come and give them those words of encouragement. Come and sell to them God. Come and give to them God, because it's God they need at this time. There is no one who can come to replace my loved one. There is no one who can come to replace your loved one. It's only God who can take that position comfortably and bring you even better. I have seen some of my friends actually, when they lost their husbands, most of them ladies ndio nimeinteract na wao sana. And I'm seeing their life becoming better day by day, even better than us who have husbands, even better than us who have jobs, even better than us who have, yani sisi ambao hatuja face any death, sisi ambao hatuja face any loss. I'm finding them having a very good life. Like there's this friend of mine, and when the husband died, alimwacha like she had no mbele, she had no nyuma. Like she was asking me, where will I go from here? How do I begin from here? How do I rise from here? Look at me. I'm just young. Look at my children. What shall I tell my young girl when she grows up? The girl was just 3 when the dad died. What shall I tell her when she comes to understand about death? Nitawambia baba yao alifanya nini? You know, I didn't have even time to talk to the father even before he died. So there is nothing that I know about his last moments. Tulikuwa tu maisha iko tu vizuri, tulikuwa tu tunaongea vizuri tu mambo ya kawaida. We didn't see this coming. What shall I tell them? And then I remember the last time that we talked and the last time that we met, she was telling me that she just thanks God because God came through for her. This lady had no job when the father to her children died. When her husband went, she had no job. But as we speak, she's doing so well in business. Those people that had employed the husband, when he come through, yani Mungu tu akawaongelesha wakiwa na huko. And they came through, wakamwekea biashara. Right now as we speak, she's doing so well. She's doing so well. In fact, mawazo yake imekuja ikafunguka. I see she has really matured up. Like she is reasoning so well. Like amejipanga, yani vitu zake ameweza hata kuziorganize, because God always comes through for his children. God always comes through for his faithful ones. If you are faithful to God, God will always come through for you. He will always come and fill that gap that has been left. And so, when they are in this depression, when they are in this state of disorganization and confusion, we have a role to come and keep them calm even as they try to rise again. Then the other thing that comes comes as part of the grieving process is resolution. This is when they wake up and they say, now I see like maisha hivi ndivyo imefikia, maisha hivi ndivyo iko, and now where do I start from here? Most people will not rise easily, but still, as we said, people grieve differently and people heal differently. But the biggest number, they rise and they walk again. Whether they make baby steps, but at least they rise. And that is why I have always insisted that life is still beautiful no matter what we are going through. And if we come and face our problems and our challenges with a positive attitude, it is the attitude that matters. The attitude that we carry within ourselves The attitude that we fill our hearts with is what will sail us high. It is what will change our perspective of even the problems that we have. Do not keep blaming. Do not live there. But then, we are not supposed to come and force them to cross over the processes, to go through the processes. Ati waruke moja, mbili, tatu, wachape, ishakuwa clear. No. It will not happen that way. Give them time to heal. Give them time to go through the healing process. Give them time to grieve. Give them time to mourn. Give them time to think and rethink. There is this writer ambaye anaitwa Reg Brown. Reg Brown anasema kwamba we let those people who are grieving, we let them to think. Na kama ni sisi tuna grieve, we should think about what has happened in our life. Ameniacha, ameenda. Think and think and think and think. Think about your children. Think about vile utakuwa unafua nguo na ni yeye alikuwa anakufulia. Think about vile utakuwa unapika na ni yeye alikuwa anakupikia. Think about the things that she used to do for you and now she's not there, she cannot do them anymore. Think about your life without her. Then he says, write them down. You can take 3 minutes to go through 3 years by thinking about it. But when you write about it, it will take you time to write about a story of 3 years. And therefore, he advises, write them down. When you think about a restaurant, ukipitia kwa restaurant yenye mulikuwa mmeenda sapa, go write, talk to your notebook. Iambie how you're feeling. Iambie about how umepitia hapo kwa hiyo restaurant. Iambie about, ata about the food that he asked for, about the food that she loved, about the menu for that day. Go into your room. Think about venye mulikuwa mnapitana hapo kwa corridor. Venye mulikuwa mnapitana akiingia kwa bafu na wewe ukitoka. Think about venye alikuwa anaamka na kupigia kelele sometimes. Think about how you used to resolve about your problems. Write down. Talk to your notebook. Keep telling your notebook how you're feeling. And every day of your life, wake up and tell your notebook vile ambavyo una feel. You will be emptying your mind. They will be emptying their mind. Those that are in grief will be emptying their mind of the things that zinaweza kuwasumbua and to bring shock again. Warudi tena ile process number 1 yenye tulisema is shock and numbness of the body. Think about them. Anasema tena, talk about it if you feel like talking about it. Yes, tumekuja, tumemon, mazishi imetengenezwa, tumezika, tumerudi. And you want to talk about it. Just tell your friends. Don't just talk to anyone who is giving you their opinions or who is telling you, acha kuongea hizo vitu. Talk to people who are willing to listen to you without answering anything. Just listen. Just listen. And then, those who are grieving, talk. Sema vile ulimpata, sema vile alipogongwa na gari, vile ulienda ukaona vile hiyo mwili ilikuwa imeharibika. Sema vile mulienda sijui wapi. Talk about the burials. Talk about venye watoto talk about those things to a willing person who wants to listen to you. They might not tell you about what to do. They might not give you their opinion, but just talk to them. These are facilitators of the healing process. All these things that we are talking about, they are facilitators of healing process. Sometimes, we might find that there are children who have been left. If there are children who have been left, how do we deal with those children? How do we deal with the children who do not understand? How do we deal with children who understands? We need these children. In the first place, I want to show you the picture of these children who have been left by their parents, all one of their parents, all their, a close relative. These children, number 1, will be puzzled. They will be like, eti mmesema nini? Apana. Nani? Atakuja nyumbani. They will start crying. They will cry. They will also get frightened. When they get frightened, Do not tell them, apana, acha kushtuka hivyo. No, let them get frightened because they are also human beings. They understand. They have some bond, and this bond has been broken. Their hearts have been broken. Let them get frightened. Let them get puzzled. Let them like cry if they want to. Also, they will ask questions. Some questions you do not have answers for. But you need to be honest with what you're telling them. As you tell them about how it happened, be honest. Let them understand. If this person was sick, let them understand how sick he was. If this person got an accident, let them understand the whole story about what happened, so that these things do not come to affect them in future. They might ask questions, as I have said, and you may not have answers for all the questions that they will ask. It is not wrong to say that you don't know. Just tell them you don't know. It is not wrong. There is no harm in saying so. Tell them, I don't know. Then, let these children be reassured. Give them a reassurance that you will be there for them, that you will still be their friend, because they will want to know, fulani vile ametuacha, my dad venye ameenda, my mom venye ameenda, who will be there for us? Those are questions they are asking themselves. Keep reassuring them that we are here for you, and don't say it and leave them. Because most of us who are tunakuja tunasema, you know, we will be coming to visit you, you know, we will be taking care of your needs, you know, don't msikule shida, we will be there for you. Then the next minute, akikuja kupigia simu, you don't even pick, because unaangalia simu unasema, huyu ni ule mke wa fulani, anataka tena kunisumbua, labda hawana chakula. Woe unto us, because God will punish us for this. When you assure them, you reassure them that you'll be there for them, be there for them. As a church, make sure that you bring relevant programs that can bring healing. Usiamke asubuhi mumetengeneza program na inasema kwamba wale wote ambao mabwana zao ama mabibi zao wamekufa, widows and widowers mkae ile side, wale the couples mkae hii side. That breaks the heart of those people. Let them heal, let them accept, so that msiseparate watu mseme kwamba couples tunaongea zetu hapa, widowers and widows munaongea zenu hapa. Those people, like for example, you might find that those people who have been left, they are very young people. Maybe it's a young man who has lost a wife, is a young woman who has lost a husband, and bado aja accept. It's just the first week, the second week, they have lost their husbands and their wives. They have come to church. Then you've brought a program where they need to be shown kabisa, now you are a widow, now you are a widower. You don't belong here, you belong here. They feel so sad. That can break their hearts milele. It can cause a wound that will never heal. Bring programs that are relevant to their situation at the moment. It will not last forever. Like, they will heal and even invite others to that group of the widows and the widowers. They will heal, and you know, there's something that I always say. Today, you may be with your husband seated there, and tomorrow you are called a widow or a widower. It is not definite. It is not defined how many years you're going to spend. The young and the old die. And there is no death of a young one and an old one. Except that we say that these are premature deaths, but I believe that death is death. And death, it doesn't matter mtu amekufa na style gani. It is death. Because huyo mtu ameenda ametuondokea. God forbid and God help us and God keep us alive so that we can continue to see his greatness. But when our loved ones leave us, when some of us lose our spouses, let us be part of the comfort gang. Sijui niite comfort gang. Wale watu wanakuja, we are here for you. Like, usiogope until una feel, hey, enyewe hapa hii gang imenitosha. Hii gang iko sawa. I have a big team. I have a big support system. Be a member of that. Do not be that who unapil kidonda when imeanza tu sasa, hiyo ndio tu imeanza kucover the brown, imeanza kuleta some ka dry skin, na wewe unakuja unakapil tena. So as a church, let us keep comfort to those people. Reassure them And we're talking about the children saying that they need to be reassured that we will still be there for them. Then, let us bring the picture of God in a positive way. Do not come telling the children, you know, there's this story that I read about a certain family, ambapo walikuwa mtoto wao akakufa. So, the person who came to break the news to the siblings, alikuja akawaambia, unajua Mungu aliona fulani anakuwa wa uongo sana. G is a liar sana. Amekuwa wa kudanganya sana. So God said, wacha amuondoe so that asiendelee kudanganya, aende hell. So when they grew up, they were like, wait a minute. Ati our brother Mungu alimchukua kwa sababu yeye ati alikuwa anadanganya sana. So they were all withdrawn from that God. Wakaanza kuogopa huyo Mungu. So they had a negative picture of God. Kwamba, Mungu ni mbaya, ukikuwa wewe ni liar, anakuja na kuchukua, anakuondoa. Let them understand the loving nature of God. Let the children understand that your dad hakukufa ati kwa sababu Mungu amemchukia. Your dad hakukufa kwa sababu alikuwa mbaya. Your dad si Mungu alimbeba akampeleka kwake. Because if you tell them that God took their dad, akawapeleka kwake binguni, they will always say, si hata sisi atubebe tu atupeleke huko binguni, because now we are suffering because we don't have our dad. Mbona alimchukua kaenda na yeye sasa alafu sisi tubaki tukisikia vibaya? Mimi hata watoto wengine watakwambia, mimi I want to go to, mimi nataka tu Mungu anichukue anipeleke kwa my dad. Si atuchukue sisi wote as a family so that we can go and stay with our dad there. See how we are suffering. Ona vile anko amekuja ametutusi kwa sababu my dad ayuko hapa. Si sahi my dad angekuwa amesimama akapigana na anko maka akamshinda nguvu. You know, the children will see how unfair that God is. Give them a good picture of God and tell them it's not everyone who will die. And people don't die wote pamoja. They will not all die together. But at some point, mtu anaweza kufa. And at some point, unaweza sikia tena kuna mwingine amekufa. People die, but they don't all die together. And again, not everyone will die. Let them see a good picture of God who gives us life. Waonyeshe kwamba, si unaona sahi Mungu yeye amekuweka ukiwa hai. Si ametupatia health. Muonyeshe the good things that God has done for you. And tell them that still God loves you. Still, God cares for you. Still, God will provide for you. And that strength will make them to move on. It will make them to revive their spirits and say, enyewe hata kama dad alienda, hata kama mama alienda, hata kama my grandfather alienda na niye alikuwa anatusaidia, hata kama grandmother ameenda niye alikuwa na take care of us, at least we have God. They will love God. They will now want to be closer to God. And you remember, God is the only one who will keep us in time of grief. And therefore, one after the other, we have a responsibility. Leo ninaingia kwa hiyo nyumba napeana comfort. Kesho ninawaombea. Hiyo siku nyingine natumana chakula inakuja. The other time I want to know how they are faring. The other time I want to know whether they have paid their bills. Even from nowhere, come and pay their bills. And you will never lack. God will always fill your pockets and your basket, because he has said that the birds of the air do not, azilimi, they don't work, they don't harvest, they don't gather food, but none of them falls from the sky because of hunger. He feeds them all. And so he is going to feed the fatherless. He is going to feed the widows. He will support them. He will stand for them. And you know, God says that he loves the widows and he takes care of them as the apple of his eye. And therefore, I want to believe that there is a lesson that we can learn. There is something you can go and do to a widow, a widower, an orphan. Go and offer that help. Thank you for being with us throughout the 2 shows. Thank you for being with us throughout that period. And thank you for being with us and planning to be with us ahead as we continue with other shows. And until next time, it's your girl Millie saying that life is still beautiful. no matter what we go through. We may be grieving, we may be facing pain, but life is still beautiful for the living. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Millie Kihiu, Life Beautiful. Life is beautiful. And do not forget to share it with your friends so that you can pass out this message. Labda kuna mtu hakuwa anajua kwamba you're not supposed to go telling people that you're sorry. If you share this video, they will know that it is not right to tell people that you're sorry when they have lost, because you'll be hurting them even more. You can also follow us on Facebook at Millie Kihiu, and you shall be blessed. Again, I continue to pray for the peace that surpasses human understanding, for all those who are grieving, for all those who have lost, and saying thank you and God bless you. You who is taking your time to visit those who are grieving, and you who has taken time to help those who are in need. And until next time, it's bye-bye. God bless you.